shopping, friendly, honest service with no high-pressure sales gimmicks. Before you buy, drop by East Highway 44, SummitAutoGRP.com.
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late-night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Question. When you walk into the boardrooms of the most successful companies here in South Dakota, who do you meet? When you're working for a mover and shaker with strong ties to our community, who are they? When you encounter a group of people eager to roll up their sleeves, who are you most likely to work with? Answer. Men and women who played high school sports. Education-based high school sports give us more than athletes we can root for. They give us leaders we can depend on. Taking the initiative, being a good teammate, sacrificing personal glory for the greater good. These are qualities we expect of our leaders, and they're all being cultivated in the high schools right here in South Dakota. Question. So where will we find tomorrow's leaders? Answer. High school sports.
This message presented by the South Dakota High School Activities Association and the South Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City.
What you need to know.
New York City Mayor Eric Adams said today that the gunman who killed 4 people on Monday was targeting the NFL's offices located at 345 Park Avenue in Manhattan. Police say that they believe the gunman planned to go to the NFL offices in the building but entered the wrong elevator bank. Officials added that the gunman who took his own life did leave a note mentioning the NFL and concussions multiple times, including claiming that he believed he had CTE. Ravens tight end Isaiah Likely is going to miss a few weeks of action. Head coach John Harbaugh says he rolled his ankle near the end of today's workout, while the Browns could be without cornerback Martin Emerson Jr. for the season. NFL Network reports that Emerson suffered an Achilles injury today, with the team believing the injury is serious. Chargers will start Trey Lance at quarterback in Thursday's Hall of Fame game against the Lions. Orioles topped the Jays today 16-4 in game 1 of a doubleheader. Royals designated Rich Hill for assignment. I'm Dan Beyer.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, we are back and ready. It is Tuesday in South Dakota. It's always a great day in South Dakota, no matter what. It's always a great day in South Dakota. By the way, everybody in Sioux Falls, man, that storm last night, that was something. That was something. Everybody's picking up the pieces. I hope everybody's okay from last night. The Nate Brown Show is back on. Let's talk some sports. Have a little fun today. That's what we're here for. Thought-provoking sports talk. The Nate Brown Show back on Fox Sports Radio across the state. It is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. And again, welcome in. A great guest lineup today on a Tuesday. This is the last South Dakota Sports Talk Show for this week. There's State Legion baseball coverage that we're a part of, so we're going to have off tomorrow and Thursday, but then we'll be back and better than ever. So let's do it up tonight. Thought-provoking sports talk ready to go tonight from South Dakota and beyond. Let's get a look at the guest lineup. First, let's welcome you in, not only on Fox Sports Radio, but also on Twitter right now. Stream us at Nate Brown Show. You can watch the show live on X. It's called Twitter. It's called X. It is at Nate Brown Show, and you can watch us live there. Interact with the show. Also, YouTube channel is up. Live and archive shows are there. Find us, subscribe, The Nate Brown Show. If you're a YouTube guy, The Nate Brown Show on YouTube. I said great guest lineup. It looks really good. Let's look at it. Rob Dauster's coming up tonight. Haven't had him on the show. We've had Eric Goodman, great college basketball guy. Rob Dauster, one of the founders of the Field of 68. So if you're a college basketball fan, you know Rob Dauster, really good college basketball analyst, and they're a part of this opening marathon that the Pentagon has been a part of. They had some great games last year, and the Field of 68 sponsors it. They just released their game lineup, coming up at the Sanford Pentagon. And, we're going to know some coaches coming back. Hendo's coming back, be a part of the Field of 68 opener. We'll tell you all about this. We're going to have the college basketball analyst, the founder of the Field of 68, Rob Dauster's on live tonight from Philly. We'll look at the Sanford Pentagon start of the college basketball season. Dauster's coming up. We will go to Ben Leber. He said Vikings training camp. How has everything looked for the Vikings? Ben Leber, former Vikings linebacker, and of course on The Fan, Twin Cities, KFAN. Ben Leber, part of the Vikings radio network. He's on tap tonight. Brian Noe is on the way, countdown host here on Fox Sports Radio, a Tuesday with the No Show. And a big surprise in Watertown to start the State Legion baseball tournament. It's a big one. Rapid City Post 320 upset the number 1 seed Post 22. That coverage was on Fox Sports Rapid City, and Mike Jansen's the head coach of the Rapid City Post 320 Stars. He's live tonight from Watertown. The reaction from 320 beating Post 22 for the first time since 2009. First time since 2009. That was also in a state tournament, by the way. So Mike Jansen has his guys going. They beat Post 22 earlier today in the first game, 4-1. We'll talk to the head coach coming up. All right, let's get you on if you want in tonight. 605-720-1067. Hope you're taking the show with you. Again, tough night last night weather-wise in Sioux Falls, so I hope everybody's doing fairly well. And minor inconveniences, not big ones. So hopefully you're back up to speed. Find us at the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, 605-720-1067. Also the Barron's Wilson text line. Text the show if you want, 605-720-1067. So now you know the number. Call or text on the Barron's Wilson text line. Quick shout-out tonight. Have to do this. And it's been kind of a rough week, right? With these legendary folks that have passed away. You know, Ozzy Osbourne, Malcolm Jamal Warner, you had Hulk Hogan. I mean, this has just been a wild week if you're a kid from the 80s. And now another one, this is the sports legend. And I call him a legend because this guy was a lunch pail guy. This guy was a non-flashy, non-look-at-me guy, but he was a great player. An absolute great player. And he passes away at the young age, as a matter of fact, of 65 years old. This happened after, as my show was winding down last night. The news came out, so I didn't get a shout-out to my guy, the legend, the Cubs legend, Ryne Sandberg. So if you missed that, of course, Ryne Sandberg, what a career with my Cubbies. And to give you my attachment on this is what I've thought about today. I mean, and I know people's attachment to Hulk Hogan and the wrestling side stuff, but Ryne Sandberg and WGN's literally why I became a baseball fan. Like it was, and I understand, I love the teams, Andre Dawson and Sean Dunston and Mark Grace. Ryne Sandberg was like Mr. 80s, 90s Cubs. And what an all-timer. Hall of Famer, great second baseman, and I liked him because, again, just a come to work, play baseball, not flashy. He's the type of guy you would just love to have on your team. And so, sad day yesterday when the Cubs announced legendary second baseman Ryne Sandberg, Rhino, passing away at the age of 65. He's battling cancer, was clean, and then things went downhill. So a sad day. I'm thinking about Ryne Sandberg going, man, I lived Cubs baseball back in that time. I mean, I just lived Cubs baseball. Noon, WGN, Harry Carey, trying to pronounce Ryne Sandberg's home runs. You wonder why. What a legend in Major League Baseball. Listener reaction coming in already on Ryne Sandberg tonight. By the way, Ryne Sandberg was a manager for the Iowa Cubs over in Des Moines. It was just 1 year. It was a good year, 80 wins. So it was a good year. I always thought Ryne Sandberg should have got a chance to be the man. He was climbing his way up in the organization, went to the Phillies, climbing his way up. I always wanted him to be the Cubs manager. And I understand managers don't have as much sway and all this and that, but you couldn't ask for a better baseball guy. He was a baseball guy. And he always talked about respect to the game. I was never bigger than the game. He talked about his friendship with Andre Dawson and Sean Dunston. Now, he said, I maybe didn't say much. He was just a workman guy. Ryan Sandberg made me a baseball fan. Ryan Sandberg, WGN. I lived and breathed Cubs baseball. That's why I became a Little League baseball player and why I follow the Cubs today. Was a guy like that, passing away yesterday at the age of 65. So I do have a question, by the way. I do want you to help me out tonight if you can. So Ryan Sandberg is the name for me. You throw out a name in baseball. This is the player that got me into baseball. This is the player that got me into baseball. I'm telling you, for me, it's Ryan Sandberg in those Cubs days from the 80s. So I know who. I want to know who that is for you. Just the player that lives on today. And I mean, obviously, could still be alive. I'm not talking about that situation, but the player that you say, this is the guy when I started getting into baseball. That's my first question of the day. I'd just like some feedback as we honor Ryan Sandberg, one of the all-time greats for me as a Cubs fan, was a quality guy. Seemed like a great guy in the clubhouse and an outstanding, just a really solid player. I was always jealous of my brother. My brother had the glove. You know these gloves you used to get, Rawlings. You used to get these gloves, and they'd have the autograph inside in the pocket. They'd have the autograph. He had the Ryan Sandberg glove. I could never get the Ryan. You know the glove I had? It was just my parents. They're like, this is the glove you're going to have and you're going to like it. Fernando Valenzuela. Shout out, though. Fernando. This is a great pitcher. Lefty for the Dodgers. So I always had Fernando Valenzuela, and I always had to talk to my brother, why can't I have the Ryan Sandberg glove? Like, we both love Ryan Sandberg, and I got Fernando Valenzuela. All right, little peek into my childhood. Ryan Sandberg, one of the greats. Who is that baseball player for you? You let me know. 605-720-1067. Little baseball talk with an all-time legend. Tough week for kids from the 80s, from rock to wrestling to Major League Baseball. I was a huge fan of Ryan Sandberg. 605-720-1067. It's open on the text line. The Major League Baseball player that made you a baseball fan. There's always somebody. There's always just one player, right, that made you a baseball fan. Ryan Sandberg for me, and the career he had. Now I watched him every summer on WGN. That's the only reason I became a huge baseball fan. Seriously. I don't think I would have became a huge baseball fan for not those summer experiences. Thanks for calling tonight. You're live and you go ahead. Oh, we lost him. Okay. You can try and get back in if you want. Let's see. Some answers coming in. A lot of answers coming in. This is good stuff. Name the baseball player that made you a baseball fan. You watched him. That was it. So we got a lot of Kirby Pucketts. A lot of Kirby Pucketts. I would expect Kirby and the Twins in the heyday. Some Kirby Pucketts. Let's see. But that is rather recent, right? Kirby Puckett's rather recent. Rhino goes back to quite a while ago, and Kirby had a great career cut short. Let's see. Ken Griffey Jr. Okay, there's one. Some more coming in. I was a Rhino fan as well. Rhino. Let's see. Listener text. Bob Gibson. And I can imagine, I know who sent that. We've had some Bob Gibson references on this show over the years. Let's see. Lenny Dykstra. Okay, Lenny Dykstra. We got one here. Sammy Sosa. That's a young crowd there. That's a young one. Sammy Sosa. You tell me. 605-720-1067. Some more coming in. Ozzie Smith. There's some good references from the 80s. Not going back too far. Nobody's throwing out like legendary ones outside of Bob Gibson. So it's interesting, some of the players you're sending in. Lenny Dykstra, Ken Griffey Jr., Sammy Sosa, some Kirby Pucketts, the baseball player that made you a baseball fan. Reply with it on the text line, 605-720-1067. Okay, let me jump into this, and then we'll get rocking. Ben Leber's at Vikings training camp. We've got an update coming up with Ben Leber, former Vikings linebacker, now on the Fan, contributor for the Vikings radio network. Ben Leber on tap, getting a check-in. But first, let's go to the NFL, and I want to go down this road. Sean Payton, the Broncos head coach, has said pretty high praise for this football team right now. He's talked at press conferences the last few days as training camps got going, and I'm not going to go full Broncos homer on you tonight. You don't need that. You'll get plenty of that as the season gets going. I'm going to tell you what Sean Payton said. With the caliber of the roster, and a second-year quarterback, Sean Payton says the Broncos can't be afraid to actually talk about the Super Bowl this year. So everybody, wait a second. Sean Payton said the Broncos are going to make the Super Bowl. Hang on. He's saying the Broncos can't be afraid to talk about the Super Bowl. Now, this goes two ways. One way you could say, leave it to cocky Sean Payton who thinks, I've got this train. I've got it rolling. I got my QB. I've got my guys. I'm in here in my third year. I've got this going. And you could say that's true. Or you could say Sean Payton is talking about the Super Bowl. Is that too risky? Would he go down that road? Is he just trying to, blow himself up, right? He's just talking high praise. Or does he actually think the Broncos, can you actually tell, the Broncos can't be afraid this year. This might be a good enough roster to make a Super Bowl run. Now, I'm gonna pause here today. I'm a Broncos fan. You guys know this, but I'm going to pause and I'm going to say, can my Broncos be a Super Bowl contender? Do I feel that today as the training camp's just getting going? Do I know enough about this roster? Is this defense elite? It was really good last year. Is Bo Nix in his sophomore season going to be really improved? Because he was really good at the end of last half of the year. Really good. And I admitted that. I said I wasn't so sure on Bo Nix. And people are saying, well, Bo looks even better. Chase Daniel just went down there. Of course, Chase Daniel, former Missouri quarterback, made to the NFL, back up his career. He just went to Broncos training camp yesterday. He said, this team's the real deal. This team is the real deal. And second-year QBs on their rookie deals might have a chance to make a run. And so I'm going to ask you that question today. That's my second question of the day outside of this Major League Baseball legendary discussion we're having about the legends who made you a baseball fan. I am going to ask you about this. It's legitimate to think that the Broncos, with a much improved roster, Sean Payton has worked on this roster. He's been a Super Bowl winning coach. You know this. It is legitimate to think that the Broncos could contend this year, right? I mean, you're not hearing it just from the Nate Brown Show. This is Chase Daniel down there. This is Sean Payton actually throwing it out there. I don't think you do that very easily. Have you heard Kevin O'Connell do that? I haven't heard Kevin say that. And Sean Payton throws out, you can't be afraid to talk about the Super Bowl. So he's kind of telling them, we didn't say that with our boy Russell Wilson. We weren't at that level. He thinks he's got it. Sean Payton thinks this year, this is going to be a big step. When you're not just in the mix for the division, he's saying if you're in there with the Chiefs, you can't be afraid to talk about the Super Bowl. And does he have a point with a second-year rookie contract quarterback? That's how you can do it. How do I know? What do you think Joe Burrow did? Did anybody see the Joe Burrow Cincinnati Bengals appearance coming? Did you guys see that coming? I didn't. Brock Purdy and the 49ers on the rookie deal? Did we see that coming? I don't think we saw it. Josh Allen hasn't made it to the big boy, but he's made it to the AFC Championship. He's made it a long way. Rookie deal when he did. Patrick Mahomes won one on a rookie deal. Russell Wilson won one in Seattle on a rookie deal. Did you know Eli Manning was on his rookie deal when he won one with the Giants? So we know there's recent success. You got to build the team around them, and you got to make sure that you have a good enough QB. Sean Payton thinks he does. But that, in turn, I ask, which team with a rookie quarterback has the best chance to make a Super Bowl this year? And you know the other teams, right? How about the Vikings with J.J. McCarthy? Should you be talking about Super Bowl contender? Can you at least be talking about it with the roster the Vikes have? And then you got Jaden Daniels, who might be the best QB out of them all. Are the Commanders good enough? Are they good enough to make the playoffs again and make a push if the Eagles aren't in the way? So those are my three. I throw them out there because I say, here's rookie QBs, and that's the model. It's been that way in the NFL. If you got enough money to spend on the team, you find a good enough QB, you don't have to pay him a bunch. That's how you win and go far. Vikings are in that spot. Broncos are in that spot. Commanders are in that spot. I think those are the top three. You can tell me about the Texans. No. You can throw out some other teams. Nah. Those are the top three with the rookie QBs on the deal with the teams that I think could compete. So I don't think Sean Payton's crazy as much as you guys may not like him. 605-720-1067 on the Barons-Wilson text line. Which team has the best chance to compete for actually the Super Bowl as preseason football gets started this week on Thursday? Broncos, Vikings, Commanders. They all have this in common. Quarterback on a rookie deal that they believe in. We haven't seen a bunch of J.J. McCarthy yet. We saw Nix. We saw Jaden Daniels. Can J.J. enter the category of the Vikings good enough around him? Sure seems like they're really good. Are they the team that you can actually throw out now to compete for a Super Bowl? Compete. Which one would you take on a rookie deal? Broncos, Vikings, Commanders this year. Best chance. Listener reaction so far. Who's winning the vote, you think? Who's winning? The Commanders. The Commanders. Just because you think Jaden Daniels is the best? I don't know if the Commanders have the best team, though. That's the question I have. We'll take a look at it as we get going. Ben Leber's at Vikings training camp. He gets the show started. The former Vikings linebacker live coming up.
This is the Nate.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Storms likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows around 60, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow, chance of thunderstorms, daytime highs approaching 74. Cloudy skies tomorrow night, chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 59. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Right now, it's 75 degrees.
The new Mr. Liquor 2 in Rapid City is the only place in western South Dakota where you can order an ice-cold brew in their adjoining Campfire Bar and enjoy it while you shop. Their summer specials include 175 bottles of Pendleton Canadian whiskey for $44.99, handles of Wheatley vodka on sale for $27.99, or save $4 off Screwball peanut butter whiskey, now just $26.99 for a $7.50. Price is good at the new Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Are you thinking about starting or expanding a business? At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, our dedicated business lending team focuses on understanding our members' unique needs and truly wants to help them succeed. From the loans to get your business off the ground to the accounts to keep it running, we offer unique products with your business's best interest in mind. Learn more at bhfcu.com or text or call 605-718-1818. BHFCU is a member-owned, not-for-profit.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk.
Across South Dakota, it's always a great day in South Dakota. Hopefully this weather settles down a little bit. Tough weather last night in Sioux Falls. The winds were off the charts. Fences down, power poles down. It was off the charts last night, so hopefully we settle down a little bit. Wrapping up July, the Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. Coming up, Rob Dauster, great college basketball analyst. He founded the Field of 68. They do this opening weekend marathon, and they put on these college basketball games. They're coming to the Sanford Pentagon. Who's playing in the Field of 68 opener, the marathon college basketball start to the season? Rob Dauster's coming up, college basketball analyst. He puts that deal together with the Pentagon. Some interesting coaches coming on by, some South Dakota ties coming up for the next college basketball season. That was just announced today. Hey, it's football season. It is football season. Vikings training camp going on. Ben Leber, a contributor for KFAN. It's the Fan. You know it. Twin Cities, former Vikings linebacker. Ben Leber on the Vikings start to training camp here on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Ben, welcome in. How are you?
Nate, I'm doing well. I'm glad that in my area of Minnesota, we sort of avoided that big straight line wins that a lot of people got in that sort of eastern part of South Dakota and western parts of Minnesota. So, yeah, we kind of dodged a bullet yesterday.
Tough one. It's been tough last couple of weeks. Let me ask you about the Vikings training camp. You've been a player. You know what this feels like. I want to know what you think the players are wanting to see from J.J. McCarthy. That's the question everybody's wondering about for fans. Well, how's McCarthy look? What are the players trying to see here? Veterans coming in. Can you tell if a guy is the guy?
Yeah, well, I would say off the field, they feel like the guy is the guy. I mean, he's proven everything with just his sort of moxie and his magnetism. I mean, guys want to be around him. He's affable. He's likable. He's got natural leadership skills. He checks all those boxes. If I'm a player, though, I want to see fearlessness when he's on the field. I want to see him not afraid to make mistakes. And then I want to see him, if he makes a mistake, which is inevitable, everybody makes mistakes. I mean, he's probably going to have an early interception in camp that's just like, what are you doing? This is a routine ball. Why'd you throw it there? I want to see him bounce back and not get down on himself. I want to make sure all of the mentals sort of translate, because I think he's checked the box physically. There's nothing else that I want to see from him physically. He's got adequate arm strength. I think he actually has really good arm strength, to be honest with you. He can make every throw. We've seen a lot of highlight throws already from the offseason and training camp where he's launching the ball 45, 50 yards down the field with accuracy. So I think that he's got the arm strength. I think he's got the processing skills. I think he's got the pocket movement. Now I just want to see his demeanor and see how he bounces back from mistakes.
So when you're in training camp, they just started doing some practices with pads. How intense is the 1v1, ones versus ones, or how they line that up? How game-like is that when you're going up against each other?
Well, most of the time in the team settings, you're not going 1v1. It's 1v2, 2v1. So a lot of times when you're going against ones versus ones, it's more of a drill situation, and it's intense. I mean, those one-on-one pass rushes with, Brian O'Neill and Gernard, if you have them to line up on that side for that rep, I mean, you want to go good on good, and it's almost intentional like that. And then the guys that are starters, they want to go against the other starters. They want to make sure that iron sharpens iron, and you want those one-on-one battles, and it gets real intense because it's straight up bragging rights. Same thing for receivers, DBs, even though it's sort of a slanted bias drill towards the offense, but the defensive backs, they want to match up. They want to see, can this guy beat my leverage? Can I play with good hands? Can I play with safe hands? Can I be physical without committing penalties and fouls? I mean, those are really intense drills. And then, it's not like you're not going to bring that intensity when you're going against the twos, but it's a little lesser of an opponent, but you're still trying to bring the mental game to it.
Ben Leber joining us. Vikings training camp underway. He covers the Vikes, former Vikings linebacker. He's on KFAN, contributor for the Vikings Network. So I look at it and say, how much are we going to see J.J. McCarthy over the next month? How much are they going to play him in the preseason? Do you need to play him quite a bit since he missed last year? How do you play that out?
Typically KOC doesn't play the starters, if at all, in the preseason. But I think that this is the year you sort of make an exception for specifically the offense. And I think if that's the case, then I don't think that you can discriminate, and I think you have to play part of the number one defense as well. But I would like personally to see McCarthy out there with this offensive line, because as much as we're talented in the skill position and we got a lot of guys returning, basically when you start the season on Monday night, 4 of the 5 guys on the offensive line are going to be new. And we're talking about Christian Darrisaw probably not going to be back. He's not going to start the year on the PUP list, but that doesn't mean that he's going to be ready for week 1. I doubt he's ready for week 1. So Justin School starts out there most likely, and then you've got the rookie at left guard, and you get 2 free agents at center and right guard. So I would like to see some real game reps in the preseason, at least a half, with McCarthy, and see how he operates with the offensive line, how they can string together series of plays. And like I said before, if you go out there and make a mistake, how do you bounce back in a game-like situation when you go to the sidelines, you get on your tablet, you talk to your coaches, you talk to whoever kind of screwed up or whatever the miscommunication was? Can you fix those things in real time? Because, again, Monday night in his hometown of Chicago on national TV, boy, that's a rough way to take your first rep if it's been almost 2 years.
Ben Leber talking Vikings on the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota, Fox Sports Radio. So what are you looking for, Ben? You're a defensive guy. What are you watching in training camp? Like who, what, with this Vikings 2025 team? We've talked McCarthy. You've talked O-line. What are you interested in?
It's physicality on the outside of the defense, and then disruption on the interior part of the defensive line. That's what I'm looking for. It sounds like Jeff Okuda's had a really nice physical camp. Isaiah Rodgers is a nice physical camp as well. We know Byron Murphy. We know the chip on the shoulder that he plays with. I want to see those guys be physical. I want to see those guys, go face mask to face mask with our wide receivers and really get after them, because I think that's going to be a huge part of how they run this defense this year, mixing up a lot more press man, disguising a lot more coverages from at the line of scrimmage, and really disrupting the timing. And then coupled with that is, does Javon Hargrave, does he show off that motor consistently? Can he make plays on the interior part of the defensive line and really affect things? Can Jonathan Allen do the same thing? We know what we have on the outside, on the edges of this defense. We know what we have at the linebacker spot on the inside. Now I just want to see that penetration, because that's what we brought these guys in for, to be interior disruptors. And if you can't do that in practice, it's going to be hard to do that in a game.
So here's one. Sean Payton with the Broncos just said, we're not afraid to talk about the Super Bowl. You can't be afraid to do that. So Vikings roster, people are saying this is good. It's a good roster. The QB is the question mark, but the Vikings believe in him. So you think KOC would ever go down that road? I mean, how do you walk that line? Talk about the Super Bowl, or no, we're good, but let's just go week by week here. What do you think of that mentality?
I haven't met a lot of coaches that actually shy away from talking about it, internally. I mean, maybe not so much in the public being on the forefront of your mind, but certainly internally, every coach that I've ever played for, you allude to the championship, you allude to a championship, you allude to the Super Bowl a lot. But the thing is, I'm a big believer that if you focus on the finish line, you're going to trip over yourself. And so we all know what the goal is, and it's nice to get that reiterated. And sometimes it is nice to kind of get a smack across the face and hey, man, let's get some perspective here. It's a long road, and you need that sort of awakening. But really, it's about the day to day, and then you can teach up that day to day with the bigger picture in mind. And so I don't have a problem with him talking about it. I don't have a problem if he wants to talk about it internally and externally and publicly. That's fine. Everybody's got their own way, but I don't think it's a distraction. It's just another way to handle the motivation piece.
After a 14-3 season, what do you have for an expectation, Ben? I'll let you go with that. What's your expectation of this team?
Definitely the playoffs. It to be super smooth. I mean, nobody expects it to be like last year, winning 14 games. But I expect this defense to carry the team for a lot of it. And my expectation is for JJ to go out there and just play mistake-free. And I don't care if it doesn't look as explosive as it has in the past. If it looks a little game managery where he's just getting through the first and second read, and maybe his passes per yards per pass isn't eye popping, just get the ball in people's hands and let them go out and make plays. My biggest concern would be him throwing the games away, especially in the red zone, by trying to get too risky, trying to thread the needle in here and there. And all of a sudden, we turn the ball over when we should have points. If he takes care of the football and limits the number of turnovers, I don't see why this couldn't be a championship-level team. We have all the ingredients. We have the coaching. We think we have the offense and defensive line, and we have all the playmakers. So, again, just like I was talking about with Sean Payton, it's great to talk about it. I think that's everybody's expectation, but just go out and win each game and not try to give any games away.
Vikings training camp underway, just getting going. It's that time. Ben Leber on tonight, former Vikings linebacker. He's on X at Nacho Leber. You can hear him on the Fan, KFAN, out of the Twin Cities, and his show in the morning as well. Ben, thanks for the time, man. I appreciate you.
Yeah, anytime, Nate. Have a good one, man.
Thanks a lot. Ben Leber getting us going across South Dakota. Great South Dakota guy, right? South Dakota guy, now Twin Cities, former Vikings linebacker. KFAN, Vikings Radio Network. Ben Leber getting us going. Vikings expectations are high. They are high. Sean Payton says the Broncos can't be afraid to talk about the Super Bowl. Well, we haven't heard that in Denver for quite some time. I got a listener text coming in on attacking me. They're attacking me and my Broncos positivity tonight. Listener text, Nate, please be measured. Don't fall for the hype of the Broncos. You'll be extra grumpy on Mondays. Now that's a good text. That is a good text. Have you listened to the show before? Never grumpy on Mondays, am I? I guess you'll have to wait and see. That's my question of the day, though. Second-year quarterbacks on their rookie contracts. Who has the best chance of actually competing for a Super Bowl? Sean Payton says the Broncos are going to be in the mix. That's what he's saying. KOC, Kevin O'Connell, hasn't said it that far, but a lot of people think the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy have a great roster. And how about the Commanders? They already made the NFC Championship with Jaden Daniels. So what do you think? Rookie contract quarterback, who has the best chance this year of competing for a Super Bowl with a great roster and a QB doesn't cost much? Commanders, Vikings, or Broncos? Who's your vote? 605-720-1067. Those are my top three with a rookie quarterback contract situation. So who would you vote for? 605-720-1067 on the text line. And Brian Noe joins us next. Fox Sports Radio national host coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
Whether you're grilling burgers at the cabin or roasting hot dogs around a campfire, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth buns and rolls are a summertime essential. With so many varieties to choose from, including classic white and wheat, unsliced old-fashioned, brioche, gourmet French, and flavorful onion, Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth has the buns and rolls your family will love. Village Hearth and Artisan Hearth, baked locally and delivered fresh daily.
Could there be a better name? Auto Value Parts Stores. They aren't just about air fresheners or fuzzy dice. Auto Value Parts Stores are all about parts, auto parts, and advice. Pros who know auto parts with tons of tips when you need them the most. You want real value? Don't go to a place with a cute name. Go to Auto Value. Could there be a better name? I didn't think so. Your Auto Value Parts Store. We've got the parts, we've got the smarts.
The new Mr. Liquor 2 in Rapid City is the only place in western South Dakota where you can order an ice-cold brew in their adjoining campfire bar and enjoy it while you shop. Their summer specials include 175 bottles of Pendleton Canadian whiskey for $44.99, handles of Wheatley vodka on sale for $27.99, or save $4 off Screwball peanut butter whiskey, now just $26.99 for a $7.50. Price is good at the new Mr. Liquor 2 off Catron Boulevard next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City.
Eating in Deadwood has so many options thanks to Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort. Wake up with the trusted taste of Starbucks or sit down to a full breakfast at Best Brews. Looking for lunch? Build a wonderfully fresh sandwich from Jersey Mike's. Grab some quick and cheesy goodness from Pizza Hut or pull up a chair in Patty O'Neill's Irish Pub. Need something a little more intimate for dinner? Well, Snitches is all the buzz with an evolving menu of chef-designed culinary creations. There's something for everyone to eat at Tin Lizzy Gaming Resort, located on historic Main Street in Deadwood.
Hey golfers, have you experienced Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club? Golf Digest ranked Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club the #1 public course in South Dakota. Off Exit 17 in Spearfish, Elkhorn Ridge offers a golfing experience second to none. Play their 18-hole championship layout with your buddies. Stop into Miller Creek Pub for some drinks, or bring the family out for lunch and try out the new putting green right below Miller Creek Pub. Elkhorn Ridge Golf Club has it all. Book your next tee time at elkhornridgeresort.com.
It's officially patio season in downtown Rapid City, and there's no better place to soak up the sun and the good vibes than at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina. Tacos, tequila, burritos, and beer, and good vibes all day long. Que Pasa is your hometown hangout, and we have a smoking deal for you. Mention you heard Rob on the radio and score a $2.99 house margarita any day, anytime. Limit 1 per customer per day, so don't miss out. Offer available for a limited time. Swing by, sip something special, and celebrate the season at Que Pasa Mexican Cantina.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Live callers, big-time interviews, and breaking sports news. This is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown.
Your sports, your show. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio. You found us. Thanks for being here. It's always a great day in South Dakota. A little better weather than we've had. Man, tornadoes popping East River the last couple of days. Watertown, Chamberlain area. The unbelievable winds, straight line winds last night in Sioux Falls, tearing down stuff. Crazy. Hope you're safe. Hope you're picking pieces up and it's not too bad. Thanks for being here. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is on. Rob Dauster's coming up. Great college basketball analyst. He founded the Field of 68. Really good college basketball site. And Rob Dauster's going to host an opening marathon tournament. They've done this the last couple of years, Sanford Pentagon. So who's coming to Sioux Falls to kick off the college basketball season? Some big coaches, some big names. Rob Dauster's coming up, Field of 68, college basketball analyst. We'll talk to him coming up. Brian Noah's on tonight. Here we go. Fox Sports Radio's host of Countdown. I listened to it this weekend. I was listening. I was going to call in, but I talked to Brian enough. He doesn't want me to ruin his show. Brian Noah's on Fox Sports Radio and here on the Nate Brown Show. Brian, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm good to go, Nate Brown. Always good to talk to you, and that is false, completely false. I'll give you the hotline number. Our ratings would soar if you check in with any of your thoughts, Nate. You're always welcome, buddy.
Okay, I might do that. I was here Saturday and I was listening. I thought I better do that. And then I got a listener text though last week that Brian Noe had mentioned Nate Brown on that show. Is that true or is that false? Is that true?
Nate, if I come on your show and you throw a good question my way or have a good opinion, I always give you credit, So
wow.
I'm pretty sure there was something recent where you threw a question my way that made a lot of sense. It might have been the salary cap thing in baseball. Like, would you sacrifice an entire season to get a salary cap implemented?
I love it.
Yeah, I got to give you a shout-out. I can't act like that came from my head. It came from your head.
Wow, that's unbelievable. A lot of media members in South Dakota don't get credit to other media members, but Brian Noe gives credit to other media members. I love that. Okay, I just had to clear that up. By the way, here's the deal for me. So last couple of weeks have been tough for 80s kids. I'm an 80s kid. You had Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan. Now on the sports side, Ryan Sandberg. So literally, Brian, I became a baseball kid, a baseball fan because of WGN and Ryan Sandberg. That was like my first guy. Ryan Sandberg passing away yesterday, 65 years old, one of my all-timers. So this brought me back to a question. Who is that baseball player? If you're a baseball fan, who is that baseball player that made you a baseball fan? Does anybody come to your mind?
Yeah, there are a couple players that come to mind. The first one was Leon Durham, who was, teammate of Ryan Sandberg's. But for whatever reason, I just liked Leon Durham, number 10 with the Cubs, and probably the WGN thing where I saw him, and I liked the way he played. I thought he had some style. And it's funny, Nate, because my dad is from Alton, Illinois. It's just right outside of St. Louis. So he and all of his family, they're diehard Cardinals fans. And I was a little kid, and somehow it might have been like a free gas station hat or who knows, but I had a Cubs hat, and I didn't know any different. I was just happy I had a baseball hat. And my dad's father, my grandfather, he saw me in that hat, and he just goes, "Oh, hell no." And he just bought me a bunch of Cardinal stuff and set me on the right path, Nate. I don't have a life of misery being a Cubs fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah, Leon Durham was one of my guys, and then Vince Coleman, who was a base stealer with the Cardinals. I liked his style quite a bit. But those guys in particular, they got me into baseball for sure.
Nice reference. Vince Coleman, I like that. That was some good battles back in the day with the Cardinals and the Cubs and Vince Coleman, Ozzie Smith, some of these guys. So no Ozzie Smith. You went with Vince Coleman.
Yeah, I loved Ozzie, and you go back to those All-Star games, I always thought it was cool with Ozzie at short and Sandberg at second. You saw that a lot of times. And I loved Ozzie, but there was just something about Vince and stealing bases, and I just was more of a Vince Coleman guy. It's not a diss of Ozzie, but I just kind of liked, maybe it's my metal roots, like Vince Coleman was more like the metal underground scene, and Ozzie was more like the pop, like top 40 mainstream. I don't know if that's what it was, but I liked Vince a lot in the way he stole bases.
Some great Cardinals games with my Cubbies back in the day. So my guy's Ryan Sandberg. We had a lot of people responding on this. We had some Ken Griffey Jr.'s. We had some Bob Gibsons. We had an Alan Trammell. Tigers, Alan Trammell reference. We had Lenny Dykstra back in the day. So good stuff. If you have one, send it in on the text line here on the Nate Brown Show. The MLB player that made you a baseball fan, it was Ryan Sandberg for me in WGN. Speaking of baseball, really quick, Brian, while I have you on the salary cap. On the salary cap, here's what Bryce Harper reportedly did to Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball. Rob's visiting some clubhouses, and he's trying to talk to the players. He has a meeting with the Phillies, and Bryce Harper says, if you're going to talk about a salary cap, get the blank out of our clubhouse. Is that a good way to start negotiations or not?
Not a great way. I mean, he means business, but here's the thing, man. I want to know what happened next. If you're Rob Manfred, it's like the old Conor McGregor line. Remember when he was like, who the bleep is that guy? Right? Like, if I'm Rob Manfred, I'm like, who do you think you're talking to right now? Are you serious? Like, really? I don't understand, like, the commissioner, ownership in MLB, they just get pushed around and punked by the players. Why? Like, these NFL team owners must look at MLB team owners like, you guys, what are you? You have no backbone whatsoever. You let the players push you around and talk trash and get in your face and drop F-bombs? There's no way NFL team owners would put up with that at all. That's the first thing I thought of.
Good point.
You think Roger Goodell would let a player talk to him that way? Like, who's a player? Like, size, stature, like standing in the game. What would be, like, maybe an NFL quarterback?
Yes.
You think he's just dropping an F-bomb in Goodell's face and he just like, okay, cool, I'll just shrug my shoulders and go on with my day? No way. That would not fly. I just don't get MLB letting the players push them around. Like, there's no way NFL team owners would let players punk them. No way.
Yeah, good point. I didn't even think of that. You know, the report was Bryce Harper said this, and I'm like, maybe that's not the best way to try and avoid a lockout and a missed season. But, and then think about that. Roger Goodell would say, okay, you're this, or you're suspended, or you're something. He wouldn't put up with Aaron Rodgers. Let's say Aaron Rodgers, a little edgy, says that to Roger Goodell. I don't think that would work. Okay, let me get into an NFL training camp discussion with you, Brian Noe. Sean Payton of my Broncos just said yesterday, we can't be afraid to talk about a Super Bowl around here. They feel with the caliber of their roster. So he's saying that. He said that to Chase Daniel. We're not afraid to talk about a Super Bowl. What do you think of that? Broncos going from 0 to 100 in one season.
I like it, Nate. I think that, why not? You know, the Broncos do have a lot of talent. They're not my pick to win the division, but hey, that doesn't mean my picks are the gospel. You know what I mean? Like, crazier things have happened. Bo Nix had a really good rookie season. If they could, get the running game up to snuff, that really fell behind. But maybe if they could get the running game going, I loved what they did defensively. So I would say they have a puncher's chance at it. And I put it this way. It makes more sense. I would rather Sean Payton mention, hey, why not think about winning a Super Bowl instead of, hey, maybe we could get to the divisional round of the playoffs, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Put it out there. Be bold. I have no issue with that at all.
Very interesting. So I've been told not to buy into the hype by my listeners today because I'm kind of getting excited. Everybody's positive. It's training camp. You're like, wow, maybe my Broncos might go from like barely even being a factor in the last 8 years to Super Bowl contender. So I'm trying to be measured. That's what they're telling me to be, is measured. But here's the deal. Rookie contract. These quarterbacks are on rookie contracts. So I'm going to ask you right out. There's 3 teams that I think have a shot with their rookie contract QBs. Broncos, Bo Nix. Commanders, Jaden Daniels. Vikings, J.J. McCarthy. That roster is really, really good. If I throw those 3 out, do you think they are contenders? Super Bowl.
I definitely think the Washington Commanders are.
Yes.
That's an interesting team because you get a lot of people saying, well, I don't know. What about C.J. Stroud? He had a sophomore slump. Like, Jaden Daniels is not C.J. Stroud. They have different styles. They're different players. They have different supporting casts. Just because C.J. Stroud went backwards last season doesn't mean Jaden Daniels is going to. Like, Jaden Daniels rushed for almost 900 yards last season. That's not C.J. Stroud's game. So I don't see Jaden Daniels going the other way. J.J. McCarthy is a really interesting one, Nate. I'll tell you what, I'm most interested in seeing how the Vikings season fares because I could see them being a really solid team. They've got a really great supporting cast. And if J.J. McCarthy plays well, they could make serious noise. But he's a first-year starting quarterback, and he's expected to hit the ground running. That's a team with real expectations that won, 14 games last season?
Yeah.
You know, he's not expected to just kind of ease in. He's expected to be productive immediately. And that can be a tough thing. So it happens every year, Nate. There's a team with huge expectations that loses a game or two, and then they start pressing, and then they start losing and losing and losing. That could be the Vikings. So I'm really interested to see what happens with them. And, your guy Bo Nix, he had a solid rookie season, and like we talked about, he has a pretty good supporting cast. I think the defense is really solid. Surprised me last year. I didn't think they'd be as good as they were, but they were really one of the top units. And, I would have to say they've got at least a puncher's chance. And you can expand that. Think about Drake May on his rookie deal. The Patriots have made a lot of upgrades. I don't think they're Super Bowl ready yet, but to get Mike Vrabel in there, I expect them to make a big improvement as well.
Okay, so those are my three teams, and I'm not saying they're going to go on to do it, but those are my top three with the rookie contract QB that I think could be in contention. Do you think, I'll let you run with this, the rookie contract is key? The Joe Burrow, the Brock Purdy, when they made runs, they didn't cost money. Do you think that's legit?
Oh, absolutely. I think it makes a huge difference. Take a team like my Dolphins. Look at them where when Tua was on his rookie deal, they're just like, hey, let's get this guy and let's get that guy and screw it. Let's pay this other guy too. And now it's like a fire sale. They're like, let's get rid of this guy. Let's trade that guy. Let's trade our only Pro Bowler, Jonnu Smith. Everybody must go. It's like a garage sale at this point. So, it absolutely makes a difference. I don't think that, we all know you don't have to have a quarterback on his rookie contract to make it to the Super Bowl. I think it helps give the roster a lot of bells and whistles and really spruce up what you have around the quarterback. But my gosh, the Chiefs have been in the Super Bowl, what is it, Nate, like 5 of the last 6 seasons, I think it is?
Don't tell me.
So, and they're paying Mahomes a boatload, so it's not like once you pay your quarterback, you're not going to make it to the Super Bowl. That's not real. But for these other non-Mahomes, non-Chiefs teams to have a good quarterback on a rookie deal, it's the biggest advantage in the NFL, and a lot of teams have taken advantage of that.
Got to get the quarterback right. I think those three teams appear to have the quarterback right. Who would people vote for to make a Super Bowl contending? What's our question of the day with Brian Noe on tonight? Listen to him on the weekends. The show is Countdown. They do a great job. Jared, Brian, and the crew, Rich Ornberger, all these guys. Fox Sports Radio's national host, Brian Noe. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
Always good hanging with you, Nate. You might have to ask the guy, Field of 68, if he's going to have to rename it Field of 174 or whatever it might be in the near future here.
Nice. I'm going to lead with that. I appreciate it. Rob Dauster is coming up from the Field of 68 or 74, whatever you want to do. Brian Noe is in, Countdown host on Fox Sports Radio. The Noe Show on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Good stuff across the NFL. Let's come back. Take some more baseball names. I want to do this. I want to do the baseball legends. My legend that got me into baseball as a kid, I would not have been a baseball fan if it was not for Ryne Sandberg and WGN. I would not have been. I mean, I went down and watched minor league ball. I was close to a Cincinnati Reds affiliate, so that was a part of it. And George Brett played at this minor league team and stuff, so that was all part of it. But I lived Cubs baseball in the 80s. And Ryne Sandberg, who passed away yesterday, an all-time great, one of my all-timers, 65 years old yesterday. Ryne Sandberg got me into baseball. I want to know who got you into baseball. A little bit of fun on a Tuesday night of the Nate Brown Show. Text it in. We'll go through it. Top vote getters, 605-720-1067. Just interested, who got you into baseball?
This is the Nate Brown.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Specialists since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
There's summer, and then there's Murphy's in the summer. Nothing beats it. The food, the drinks, the atmosphere. Whether you're soaking up sunshine on the patio or hanging inside with friends, Murphy's brings the good vibes all season long. Amazing food, cold beers, summer cocktails, live music on the patio, a crew that treats you right, and yes, even a late-night menu every Friday and Saturday night. When you're thinking summer in Rapid City, there's only one move, Murphy's. Visit murphyspubandgrill.com. Murphy's, a Rapid City icon.
Remember when life was simple? Nope, me neither. The summer sun may feel great to us, but summer heat takes its toll on your vehicle. Don't risk your family's vacation fun by ignoring vehicle maintenance. When it comes to your vehicle maintenance or repair, keeping it simple is easy. The ASE certified technicians at Al's D&I can make sure your car is in top running condition. Maintenance now or fix it later. Most vehicles, most years, and most countries. Al's D&I can fix them. Check in at Al's D&I on Sturgis Road and online at alsdniautorepair.com.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
We are back on a Tuesday. This is it for The Nate Brown Show this week. State Legion baseball coverage. So we're going to take the next two off, and then we'll be back better than ever next week. We're getting into the good stuff. High school sports season cranking up. Football season cranking up. The Nate Brown Show is on. Let's make it count tonight. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Glad you're here. Thanks for making the show possible. Rob Dauster's coming up tonight. He's a great college basketball analyst. Founded the Field of 68. Covers the game in depth. They have an opening weekend of the college basketball season. They put these games on at the Sanford Pentagon. And they've got some interesting teams coming to the Sanford Pentagon this year. Rob Dauster is going to veil it. Coming up on the Nate Brown Show, the Field of 68, college basketball analyst coming up. My question of the day deals with my guy, Ryne Sandberg. Ryne Sandberg passing away, my all-time favorite as a Cubs fan that got me into baseball. Looking at yesteryear, thought about all my childhood memories of watching the Cubbies at noon on WGN and spending my summers. Ryne Sandberg, Andre Dawson, Mark Gray, Sean Dunston. I mean, that was the day. And by the way, the Cubs were okay. Like, they had a couple of good seasons. And I was still all in. Like, they just hung around 500. Boy, it was a lot of fun. Like, a ton of fun. Ryne Sandberg was the player that got me into baseball. And I wanted to throw that out to the audience. So who is the player that got you into baseball? That's my question of the day. Ryne Sandberg passing away yesterday. Sad deal. Suffering from cancer. 65 years old. So who's the player that got you into baseball? There's interesting answers across South Dakota tonight. We've had Bob Gibson. We've had a few votes for Bob Gibson, the legendary pitcher. Not a lot of pitchers make the list. I got another one here, Roger Clemens. Roger Clemens. So you don't get to see pitchers that much, but back in the day, they were like, we watched them as stars way more than now. Like the way the game's changed, there's no starting pitchers that are like stars. Paul Skeens, I guess, but nobody pitches anymore. It's like 5 innings, you're done, thanks. So I was wondering how many pitchers would make it. We had some Bob Gibson. We had Roger Clemens. Some more here. Let's check in. George Brett, the great Kansas City Royal, George Brett. Pete Rose making the list. I didn't see one of those come in. Kirby Puckett, some more Kirby Pucketts. And then there is some Ryan Sandbergs today. I commend you guys across South Dakota voting for Ryan Sandberg. So I wasn't the only WGN kid. Ryan Sandberg was just a lunch pail, no nonsense, no look at me. Like, I have a feeling Ryan Sandberg, even in the social media day, would still be who he was. Just solid. No, nothing like crazy flashy, just solid. Gold glove, homers, leader. Ryan Sandberg, humble. There's not too many guys like that anymore. Listener text, Ryan Sandberg, another legend, has left us. Rest in peace. I agree. Let's see. Barry Bonds in the 90s. Oh, boy. Well, Barry Bonds was good, too, in the 80s, but pretty good through the 90s and 2000s. Listener text, in the 2000s, there's nobody. Okay, I understand. Let's see. Lou Whitaker. Cecil Fielder got me into the Tigers. All right. 605-720-1067. Barron's Wilson text line. Just thought I'd do, that's an interesting exercise as I run through this on the text line. The major league player, maybe the legend that got you into baseball as a kid. Who was that one guy you couldn't miss? Major league baseball player that got you into baseball as a kid. 605-720-1067. Hit us on the text line. And speaking of baseball, I'm going to put the game of baseball as, just a classic example of what we saw today in South Dakota. This is baseball. And it happened today in South Dakota. I'll explain coming up.
This is South Dakota's sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one, so you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked to the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit rbarapidcity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
And K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, sports parents and ballers of all ages, Rapid City has a new sports facility that you have to check out. E3 Sports Complex on East North Street is the newest indoor sports facility featuring 4 full courts. E3 Sports is here to serve the community and wants all athletes of any age to come and experience expert training, coaching, and the opportunity to unlock your athletic potential. Memberships and court rentals are available now. Come to play at E3 Sports Complex. Learn more at e3sports.org.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
What are you doing?
Just getting in the holiday spirit.
Isn't it a little early for jingle bells and Christmas in general?
It's never too early for Christmas. But Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale just got me in the mood.
A window sale started all of this?
It's not just any window sale. It's Renewal by Anderson.
Okay, settle down. I'll get the ladder and we'll get started hanging the lights.
Renewal by Anderson's Christmas in July sale. 20% off every window and door. No money, no payment, and no interest for 18 months with approved credit. This means no payments till 2027. Hurry, the holiday savings end August 15th. Hassle-free, energy-efficient, low-maintenance windows with a professional fit. Renewal by Anderson uses Fibrex windows, keeping your home cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and reduces your energy bill. They do windows. They're the experts. No subcontractors. For a free in-home estimate and a perfect fit, go to RBARapidCity.com. That's RBARapidCity.com. Renewal by Anderson, when only the best will do.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
You have found us. South Dakota Sports Talk Show is on Fox Sports Radio. Welcome in. Glad you're here. Appreciate it. Tuesday edition of the program, the Nate Brown Show across South Dakota on Fox Sports Radio. Stream us all the time on X. If you're on X, follow the show, watch us live. Welcome into the studio there at Nate Brown Show. So follow us, watch us live on X at Nate Brown Show. One more place, you've got us, YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. And coming up, one more place you're going to be able to find the show. We did a little test today. A little test. One more place, just a little teaser as we get into August. We got a new place we're going to be launching the program, so you're going to have us all over. You're going to be so sick. No, you're good. Thanks for making this show possible. You like being a part of the program, and if you want to be part of the program, join us on the text line, 605-720-1067. That's the text line for the question of the day. Baseball player that made you a baseball fan. I bring this up because Ryan Sandberg was my guy, Honor and Rhino, 65 years old, passing away yesterday, the all-time Cubs legend, one of my all-timers, got me into baseball. That and WGN, that was the combo. Was able to access it, was able to watch the Cubbies all the time, and miss the good old days. I still find myself, like, wanting, where's WGN, man? WGN. The worst thing they did was not carry the Cubs. I mean, they were carrying, like, vampire shows. I mean, I'm like, what are you guys doing? WGN, the all-time superstation. And same thing with TBS. They had the Braves. I mean, how many of you guys were Braves fans because of TBS? It's just the way it went. Then we got into all the regional sports networks. I mean, it's just a mess from there. Let's see. We have some votes. Daryl Strawberry came in from a first-time listener text. That's good stuff. He followed the Mets and then became a Dodgers fan. So Daryl Strawberry reference. I like that. We got Mike Schmidt. Listener text. You send him in, 605-720-1067 if you want to give me the read. I don't know who's winning the vote. Kirby Puckett's up there. A lot of Twins fans. So he's up there. We've had some, then just numerous votes across the board. Ryan Sandberg's up there, actually. Quite a few guys voting for Ryan Sandberg and the popularity of the Cubs back in the 80s. But WGN, Harry Carey, Ryan Sandberg, my all-time summer back in the day. Coming up on the Nate Brown Show, we will talk to Rob Dauster. Hang on, really good college basketball analyst. He is the founder of the Field of 68. It's a great college basketball company. They follow the game in depth, like not for casuals. They are like college basketball guys. Rob Dauster is coming up tonight live, and they're announcing who's going to be in the Sanford Pentagon Field of 68 opener. So that's coming up again. They had some nice games last year. Who's playing in the Field of 68 opener, the Marathon, to start the season at the Sanford Pentagon? Rob Dauster's coming up next. Field of 68. We'll tell you who's playing. Some guys you know. Mike Jansen's on the way tonight. He is the head coach of the Rapid City Post 320 Stars. And this is where I want to go right now. So I don't know how closely you follow Legion baseball. There's people say, I'm into it. I've been following it forever and the whole thing. Let me give the background here. Post 22, Rapid City has trying to go for state title number 45. They've dominated. If you think of baseball in South Dakota, you think of Post 22. I mean, if you've even been a fan at all, you know the history and the titles and the domination. They went out of the World Series, the whole thing. Post 22 is still the program that everybody looks to. We got to take them down. They had 8 losses on the year. Entering the state tournament today, Post 22 had 8 losses. I didn't count the forfeit, whatever that was. So 8 real losses on the season. 57-8. I mean, can you believe that? When you're talking baseball, there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and Post 22 dominated their season. They started the State Legion tournament today. It was earlier this morning. And Post 320, who we're going to talk to their head coach, Mike Jansen, in his first year. He's a former South Dakota State guy. I thought it was a great hire. I know Mike. He does a great job. Post 320 just beat Post 22 in the first game at state. That's the first time Post 320 has beaten Post 22 since 2009. So, I mean, they played each other most of the years. They took a couple of years off in there. They played each other most of the time. Couple of times a year. The Rapid City rivalry, the parking lot rivalry, just separates them. And Post 320 knocks off Post 22, the number 1 seed, the team that's been untouchable, hasn't been beaten in South Dakota, and they beat them 4-1 today. So I bring this up. Unbelievable accomplishment for the Stars. People that follow Legion baseball, that's a huge deal. That doesn't mean Post 22's all for naught. We'll see how this goes. It's a double elimination tournament in Watertown. Post 22 is going to play tomorrow morning. We'll see how this goes. But 320, monumental upset. You would call it the biggest win in their program history. They've been around for like 20 years. That has to be the biggest win in their history. The last time they beat them was in state, so it's got to be up there with that. And it's the first game of the state tournament, setting them into the winner's bracket. Post 320 wins. And the question I ask, how does something like that happen? People say, oh, well, Post 320, they've coming along. They're coming. Yeah, they got some. I understand, but Post 22's been really dominant. They played teams across the board. They've been dominant. They beat Post 320 last time they played, 16-1. So here's another one. The pitcher that pitched for Post 320 today and shut down Post 22, he pitched last game and lost that game. He gave up 7 runs. They lost 16-1. It was the same pitcher. So I'm like, this is just... Now, I'll just tell you, is baseball the hardest sport to predict? That's the direction I want to take this today. Like, how else do you explain this? This is South Dakota. This is a perfect South Dakota example. Post 22, dominant, untouchable. They get Post 320. Everybody thinks, well, okay, we've seen this before for the last 16 years. That'll be what it is. And Post 320 dominates from the start. They get an unbelievable pitching outing, and they win a baseball game that they haven't won in 16 years. How does that happen? All I can say, from game to game, I have to say, baseball, maybe it's number 1, the most unpredictable sport there is. And what I mean by that, when you line up in football, we got bigs up front, we're going to control the line of scrimmage. You know when teams line up here in August in football, I'm talking like high school especially, you can predict we're better than you. So going to that game today, Post 22, you'd think, well, they're better than 320. Well, is that right? It seems like over the season, 57 wins. Yeah, probably. It's baseball. I don't know how else to explain it. That's why you see a game where the Rockies get beat 18-0 against the Orioles. 18-0. This was last week. And then here the Rockies sweep somebody else. Like they almost swept the Twins, right? Or did they? They might have. I don't know how else to explain it. How is baseball that unpredictable? It's wild to me. And that's one intriguing thing. It's like you throw it out there. I guess you just never know. I didn't see that one coming at State this morning in Watertown. Post 320 beats Post 22. Really a huge South Dakota sports story and one of the bigger ones in Legion in a long time. Listener text coming in. Could be the biggest upset in the Legion State tournament since the last time that happened. No one would have thought 320 over 22 today. Listener text. You're right, Nate. It's baseball. Anything can happen. Anything. And so you would play that game. Let's play that game 10 times today. Would Post 22 win 9 out of 10? I don't know. It feels like it. People are like, well, probably. They won 16 years in a row. A couple of times a year usually. And here it is at State, and they get beat 4-1. Unbelievable. What other sports are hard to predict, though? Let me ask you that. And then we'll get to Rob Dauster next, college basketball analyst, great guest coming up, announcing the Field of 68 opener in Sioux Falls, Sanford Pentagon for this season. Who's going to be playing at the Pentagon? Rob Dauster coming up. Which other sport is the toughest to predict? I say baseball. You just can never tell. From 18 and it's not like 2 weeks later. It's like 18-0 one night, and then another team wins 10-0 the next day. I mean, I just can't. You can't figure it out. You think, oh, we got the best starting pitcher, so we can predict it. You just can't. So I would say hockey's probably up there. That's really up and down. Hockey's unpredictable. That's really up and down. A hot goalie can really turn the tide, catch on fire there. Soccer's kind of like that. Hard to predict. Who's going to score? Weird things happen. I'm going to still say it's baseball. Toughest sport to predict. You tell me. The audience is voting tonight on Twitter, at Nate Brown Show. 64% of the audience, number one vote is baseball. Toughest sport to predict the outcome game by game. 64% say baseball. 24% say hockey. Rob Dauster is our next guest. Field of 68. Opening marathon weekend. Who's coming to the Sanford Pentagon for college basketball's opening weekend? Rob Dauster on the way.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Time to stock up on deals at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, July 31st through August 3rd. Get a Blackstone 28-inch Omnivore Griddle Bundle for just $269.99. Our own 24 packs of drinking water are 4 for $10. A WorkMax linkable 30-inch LED shop light is only $6.59. And 40-pound bags of black oil sunflower seed are just $18.99. Head to your local Fleet Farm to haul away truckload savings. And check out our weekly ad for even more deals at fleetfarm.com.
Hey, Sioux Falls sports fans, there's a great new sports bar in Sioux Falls, Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar on West Russell Street in the Ramada Water Park Hotel. If you want to watch games, UFC, they've got it, wall-to-wall TVs, and the best part, great food. Gourmet pizza at Boston's, tons of wing options, great burgers, and a lot more. Bring the family, bring the team, bring your crew to the new Boston's Restaurant and Sports Bar in Sioux Falls on West Russell Street. Plus, you can order online for lunch or dinner. Just go to bostons.com.
Celebrate freedom all month long at Spearfish Motors. New GMC Sierra Light Duties with savings up to $6,250 or choose 0% financing for 36 months. Drive away in a new GMC Sierra HD with discounts up to $3,750 or explore the rugged new GMC Canyon with up to $2,000 in total savings on select models. Spearfish GMC Cadillac. Shop anytime online at spearfishmotors.com.
GMC, we are professional grade.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Storms likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows around 60, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow, chance of thunderstorms, daytime highs approaching 74. Cloudy skies tomorrow night, chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 59. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 76.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome in. High Energy Tuesday. Is that right? Is there such thing? Yeah, it always is. You know that. It's always a great day in South Dakota. A little better weather now. A little better. Rough times. Hope everybody's doing okay. South Dakota Sports Talk Show across the state on Fox Sports Radio. The Nate Brown Show. Glad you're here every afternoon drive. Welcome in. Hey, you ready for college basketball yet? I'm a basketball guy. You know this. I'm not a casual. Well, I don't know. We'll see what my next guest says. He's way hardcore than me, but I'm a basketball fan. I watch college basketball year-round. I'm into it year-round. And they're starting in Sioux Falls again. This event's been really good. The Field of 68 is the opening day marathon. It's coming up. Sanford Pentagon, one half of this thing. They got more games, but they got some really good games at the Pentagon. South Dakota State's going to be the headliner. SDSU's back in this thing against Merrimack. Monday, November 3rd. Mark it down, Sanford Pentagon. One of the founders of the Field of 68, college basketball analyst Rob Dauster on the program for the first time. Rob, welcome in. South Dakota, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm fired up. I'm ready to get back up there. It's I haven't been there since November 4th of last year, the last time that we had the Field of 68 tip-off. Up there in South Dakota. So I'm ready to get back, man. I miss it. It's been too long.
Okay, I love Sioux Falls as a basketball town. I've said it's a great basketball town. It hosts the Summit League tourney. I think there's a ton of support. Why do you guys want to keep bringing this back here? You're bringing back the opening marathon this year.
Because of the venue, man. Because of the Pentagon. It's so cool in there. It's the perfect spot to be able to host events like this. It allows us to get access to programs that are in the Summit League, to programs that are in the Valley. Some of the best mid-major programs in college basketball are all close enough where they are willing to make this trip, right? It's a little hard to convince a team from, from Florida or from New Jersey, where I live, to make it all the way out to Sioux Falls for a game. But, hey, look, Omaha's right down the road, right? It's not that far. 3 hours for you guys is nothing. You know, I feel like 3 hours might as well be a neighbor. So being able to get some of those programs that are in that area to play it's a good sell, and the event is great. And you know, we did it there last year, and I was expecting it to be one of those things where it's like, yeah, you know what, we did it the first time. We're going to work the kinks out. We'll have some notes. We'll figure out how to make this thing run a little bit smoother the next time. And no, not at all, man. It was perfect. We couldn't ask for anything better.
Field of 68 opening day marathon, talking college hoops. So Rob Dauster's on tonight, founder of the Field of 68. They're coming to the Sanford Pentagon. South Dakota State's going to be the headliner that night, Monday, November 3rd, taking on Merrimack at the Sanford Pentagon. I'm looking at the other games, though, in Sioux Falls. Drake, We all know the name there, Eric Henderson. That's a good tie-in.
Yeah,
What do you think of that?
The guy on the sideline there.
Yeah, what do you think of that? Coach Hendo taking over at Drake and that program.
I mean, Drake is Drake, man. There's a reason why they've had the success they've had in the last, in the last 5, 6, 7 seasons. There's a reason why they're one of the best programs in the Missouri Valley. When you got an Iowa guy with the opportunity to go back to his home state and close to his hometown and, coach one of the programs that will allow like family and friends that he grew up with to be able to make it to games. It's hard to say no to that. I do love that he made the decision to come back to South Dakota to see those fans one last time, to be able to see that state again. So and I mean, you guys know Hendo. There's literally nobody that is more entertaining than Eric Henderson when it comes to being a coach and being on the sideline and seeing him play. It's not just him. Ryan Miller's first Division I game is going to be an hour from where he played high school basketball, which is I didn't realize how close Mitchell was to Sioux Falls. I didn't know his parents live in Sioux Falls now, so like he's got a family that's going to be there. That's for right now. My goal is to recruit Mike to show up there to see if we can get him.
Yeah,
I don't know now that he's repping Paolo Banchero and negotiating deals there. A lowly call from the Field of 68 organizers is probably not the first thing that's on his priority list, but I'm trying, man. I promise. I want to get him up there.
Okay, that would be great. Mike Miller does come back to South Dakota for stuff like this, so good luck. We've seen Mike a lot. He does a lot of good work in Mitchell. And, yes, I talked about it. The other games, Murray State, that's Ryan Miller. You just mentioned him. His GM of that program is Ernie Kuiper, another Mitchell, South Dakota guy. And then they're playing Omaha. And Omaha took the field by storm last year. This is a good program, right?
Yeah, it's a great program. They had a great season last year. They went viral with all the trash can stuff. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, okay? The Murray State, Omaha, the game is going to be fun. I'm excited about Hendo coming back. I can't wait to see 3,500 people in that building dressed in blue and gold watching South Dakota take on Merrimack, right? All that's going to be awesome. But I did the best that I could to convince the guy that went viral, that became famous for fighting the trash cans, to let me do a DDT to him at center court at the under-16 timeout. His name is Cayenne Brown, one of my best friends in the coaching business. He's like 6'9", 260. He could whoop me on a normal day. That's not going to happen on the Field of 68 opening day marathon. I'm going to do the best that I can to make sure that we provide some highlights there. I don't know if I'll actually do it, but I have a verbal commitment right now. I don't know how binding that will end up being.
Okay, another side story, maybe a little more entertainment. I like it. Rob Dauster is on tonight. Appreciate his time. Follow him on X at Rob Dauster. Find his show, Field of 68. Really good, the YouTube channel, The Field of 68, college basketball analyst. So the opening day marathon, it's the college hoops, start of the season, South Dakota State and Merrimack. Give me your read on South Dakota State. They've had to do this shuffle, Rob, over the years. T.J. Otzelberger leaves. Then you had another coach come in. He does a great job, Henderson. He's out. Now it's Brian Peterson, an assistant there. What do you think about South Dakota State?
I mean, I think that they kind of write their own story at this point, right? Like we've seen other programs of this ilk go through some of these same kind of situations, right? Like the one that's most notorious in my mind is VCU, where they go from Anthony Grant to Shaka Smart to Will Wade to Ryan Odom, and all these guys get there for 3, 4, 5 years. It's almost impossible not to win at that program, and they end up going to a bigger job. But the program stays the program. The reason that the program stays the program is because of the support, not just from the administration, but from the fan base itself. And when you are supported, when you have when you're playing in front of sold-out arenas, when your home court is impossible for anybody else to win at, when you know that you're going to be, frankly, funded financially the way that you need to be able to compete at the highest level in your league, you're going to find a way to be able to win games. I have no doubt in my mind that South Dakota State is going to find a way to be able to win games. You never really know what to expect in terms of how it's going to happen with the new coaching staff, but there's a reason why Brian Peterson was on Greg McDermott's staff. There's a reason why he spent the last 6 years on Eric Henderson's staff, and that's because I believe that the guys that knew what they were doing think that he knows what he's doing. So I'm backing him, man. They got a bunch of South Dakota kids on there too. They got a veteran backcourt that Caitlin Gary is a guy that I think a lot of Summit League fan bases are going to spend a lot of time booing this year with how much he scores. So I'm excited about it, man. last year when we were up there, I remember saying this to Hendo, like, you guys, you're playing McNeese State, who led the country in forcing turnovers, who has Will Wade, who has all of these veterans, who has all of this athleticism, and you're doing it with a team that's going to start a freshman at the point, right? And Hendo was like, yeah, I think we'll be all right. And you know what they ended up doing? They went out there and they won that game. I would not expect – I'm not going to sit here and say this is going to beat Merrimack, because Merrimack is tough. They played this funky zone, and Joe Gallo, there's a reason why he's won a lot of games with that program transitioning from Division II, but – look, man, it's South Dakota State. You're playing in South Dakota. It's, 45 minutes from campus, right? I expect there to be a lot of blue and gold. I expect it to be loud, and I expect to see a really good product on the floor all season long. Great lineup of games. I think this is really good. Field of 68 opening day marathons Monday, November 3rd. South Dakota State in the nightcap there, 8 o'clock Central against Merrimack. You got Murray State, Omaha. You got Drake, Northern Arizona. So Hendo coming back to South Dakota. So this, you don't want to miss it at the Pentagon. Rob Dauster on tonight. I have to ask you this, a college basketball question before I let you run. Field of 68. Are you going to have to change the name of the company to Field of 76? So what are we doing? Let's just say that I'm currently squatting on some Twitter and Instagram handles that may come in useful in the future. I'll say this. Look, I want it to go back to 64, right? I don't think that there is a reason to expand to 76 that does not involve appeasing the power conference commissioners that want to get more people in and trying to find a way to keep them from saying, you know what, we don't have to be under the NCAA's umbrella. We can go do our own thing, right? I think that this is as much of anything as is to the other conferences saying, hey, look, this might get us more teams in. And, oh, by the way, it's going to keep those guys that are power hungry, that want as much money as they can, happy for this many more years where we can kind of keep this thing going, right? I think it has a lot more to do with that than anybody sitting here saying, yeah, you know what, 76 sounds like a good number for a tournament. So it is what it is. The people that make the decisions in college sports, whether it comes to conference realignment, whether it comes to expanding the tournament, whether it comes to all this stuff, I refuse to believe that they're actually college sports fans. Right, because there's not a single college sports fan in the country that would have said, you know what's a good idea? Let's just blow up the Pac-12. Right. Let's just make it so Rutgers and UCLA are in the same conference. You know what makes a lot of sense? Having Florida State and Stanford be rivals in the same league. It just, I don't think that the people that make these decisions are actual college sports fans. But you know what? College football had record-setting ratings last year, right? The 12-team college football playoff was an unbelievable addition. College basketball, people have been trying to say that this sport is dying for the last 20 years. And you know what? I built an entire business after getting laid off because a major media company didn't believe that college basketball was going to exist. There's enough fans. There's enough passion. You can't replicate the way that these smaller towns embrace the programs that represent them, the way that, Brookings, South Dakota, is represented by South Dakota State, and the way that they kind of buy into that university. And it's like that in all the other summer league programs that you have. And it's like that in different pockets in the SEC, and it's like that at different places in the Missouri Valley and the A-10. That's not going to change, and it's going to be there. And whatever it ends up being, man, we'll be here to tell you all about it at the Field of 68. I hope they keep it at 68 because that would make my life a lot less complicated, right? Like I did just buy last year $1,000 worth of polos for the people that work with us to be able to say Field of 68 on it, and I don't want those things to get burned. I don't want to have to buy $1,000 of the Field of 76 or whatever it is polos again. I have mic flags that say the Field of 68 on it. Like that stuff, personally, I want nothing more than to stay at 68 for as long as possible, but they haven't. Charlie Baker has not called me about it yet, so he has not asked for my input. But hang on, I've got this. If they expand the Field of 68 merchandise, that's going to be valuable. That's going to be vintage. Right. People are going to say that's the way it should be. So hang on to those polos. Don't get rid of the polos. Rob Dauster on tonight. I'll tell you this. You know where you buy vintage stuff these days? You buy vintage stuff at the discount thrift stores for 75% off price. So that's probably what's going to happen. All right. 68 polos. We'll see where that is. I'll send you one, though. You want one? Yes. It's yours. Yes, I do. I want to be in on that first. By the way, really quick, preseason number one. Rob, your preseason number one team. Who are you watching? Boilermakers, man, Purdue. They're going to have the preseason player of the year, Braden Smith. They're going to have a backcourt that has started for 4 years. They got 2 All-Americans coming back. They got your boy Oscar Clough down there. Like they're real, man. I think this is the year that Matt Painter goes and wins a national title, which is going to be happening, by the way, about an hour from his campus in Indianapolis. So I'm in on the Boilermakers.
Purdue. Rob Dauster is coming to Sioux Falls, Sanford, Pentagon. It's the Field of 68 opening day marathon. South Dakota State playing Merrimack, Murray State and Ryan Miller against Omaha out of the Summit League, and Drake and Hendo against Northern Arizona. Get ready in November. Tickets will be going on sale here in September. Rob, thanks for hopping in, man. I appreciate you.
Save me a plate of Chislick, Nate. I'm coming.
All right. I like it. He knows what he's talking about. You got to get the Chislick. You know that. Rob Dauster's in. Follow him at Rob Dauster. That's where I find him on X. If you're not, the Field of 68. The show is After Dark. Really good. College basketball YouTube channel, the Field of 68. And the opening day marathon at the Sanford Pentagon. Good stuff tonight. We come right back. Let's go Legion Baseball. Mike Jansen. He's the head coach at Post 320. What does he say about this day that they just had? Beating Post 22 for the first time in 16 years. Head coach of the Stars, next.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
Santa came early. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Christmas in July event is so great, even Santa's shocked at the savings. Get 20% off plus no money down, no interest, and no payments for 18 months. That means no payments till 2027. Renewals Acclaim and Ensemble lines are the best of the best. Santa's not waiting till December to get new windows and doors. Neither should you. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place that's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
Service and detail. Let's make sure your vehicle is ready to handle the warm months ahead. Being a AAA and ASE certified shop, I know you guys are well equipped to do just that. Justin and our techs have all the experience you need in diagnosing and repairing whatever may be ailing your vehicle. And if finances are tight for customers, you can help there? Yes, we can. We offer the AutoPass card, which has really been a huge help for people who are in dire need of repairs. Call us with any questions on this program, or you can get an answer in minutes right from our homepage at anytimeanytime.com. Just click the AutoPass Apply Now button. What a great option for those who have repairs that just can't wait. Absolutely. It's been a fantastic opportunity for many people. Anytime Auto Sales, Service and Detail, everybody. The place to trust. Your complete AAA and ASE certified automotive repair specialist. See anytimeanytime.com and at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
Where can you get surprisingly great rates on auto and renter's insurance? At State Farm. I'm State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, and I'm your one-stop shop in Rapid City for protecting your car and your stuff for surprisingly great rates. So stop looking around. Call me, State Farm Agent Matt McCormick, for surprisingly great auto and renter's rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back in. Busy show tonight. Good stuff across the board from South Dakota and beyond. Great guests across the show tonight. Appreciate everybody stopping in. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio across South Dakota. South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Stream us on X right now at Nate Brown Show. So if you're on the app X, follow us and watch us live every afternoon at Nate Brown Show. You've got us there. Ben Leber tonight talking Vikings from Vikings training camp. Rob Dauster moments ago, really good college basketball guy. He's putting on this Field of 68 opening weekend tournament. Sanford, Pentagon, South Dakota State playing in it, Drake playing in it, Omaha, Murray State. That's good stuff. That's in November at the Pentagon. Just went through that with Rob Dauster. So good stuff tonight. I just talked about this in the opener in the second hour. How does baseball happen? Well, that's what happened today in Watertown. So that's baseball. I can't explain it. A team that hasn't won all of a sudden wins. They put together a great game. They're solid. No errors, just timely hits, great pitching performance, and that's what happened today. Post 320 beats Post 22, the opening game of the state tournament in Watertown. Boy, it was a great game. Really was. Mike Jansen's the head coach at Rapid City Post 320 in his first year. And, man, this program has just taken steps. And now they're in the winner's bracket. Long way to go, but they're in the winner's bracket. Beat the Hard Hats 4-1 today. Coach, good to get you on. How are you?
I'm doing good, Nate. Thanks for having me on.
I'll say that's an understatement. You're doing good. I mean, well, here's the thing. You might say, hey, I've been coaching these guys. I'm seeing what we're doing. I've seen the progress. But you've been in baseball a long time. You played college. You know how it goes. One day you're really good. One day you just don't have it. What did you expect today?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the boys have had some ups and downs this summer. You know, we've gone through some really good winning streaks. We've gone through some losing streaks here this summer. But, you know, we had a lot of confidence after knocking off Sioux Falls East last week in the regions. And, you know, Nolan threw a good game last week, and Fox, threw a great game last week against Sioux Falls East, too. So I think, you know, coming into it, we had a lot of confidence. We knew that, you know, if we threw strikes, and we've been playing good defense, and, you know, and it's a game of baseball, so anything can happen. Anything and everything always does happen, it seems like. So if you could do those little things right, which we have been doing, you give yourself a chance to win, and, you know, that's what we did today.
Post 320, Mike Jansen on tonight. The Stars beat the Hard Hats in the opener of the State Legion Tournament. Watertown 4-1 was the final. So Post 320 off into the winner's bracket for tomorrow. They'll be set to take on Renner, who just won. Renner's been a great team of the state tournament. So, Coach, you look back now. The history is what it is. 16 years since Post 320 beat 22. I don't know if that matters for your current players at all, but it is history. There is this thing, you have to get it off your back. How did you explain and, I guess, tell your players going into a game like this, hey, it is anybody's game. It's hard. It's got to be a little hard to do mentally that this program hasn't beat 22 in 16 years. Do I have you?
Oh, there you go, Nate. No, I just got you back. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
I don't know if I have a bad connection. Sorry about that.
Okay, no worries. I've got you. How did you explain to your team after not winning in the program, right? The program against program, they haven't won. So how did you deal with that today with your players? That they weren't a part of those teams over the years, but it is a big mental thing. How did you explain it to your players today?
We felt this summer, you know, the Gopher Classic. Again, last week at Regions, we had some really good baseball games. The kids really, you know, at the end of the day, we talk about, you know, who believes in us. And it really doesn't matter if anybody else believes we can get the win. If we do, if the coaching staff does, if our parents do, our grandparents, that's what we care about. And I think there was a lot of belief that, you know, it isn't the program of old. And it is a good group of kids that's willing to work their butts off, and they do understand that, you know, they got enough talent to win big games like that, and, you know, you just got to go out and do the little things, and they did. And, you know, it's not always easy, but, you know, it's like I said, it's a great group of kids that buys into hard work and doing the little things right. And, again, it's one game. You know, we didn't come out here to win one game. Hopefully we can make a little run here and play some good baseball for the rest of the week, and, you know, see what happens.
Mike Jansen on tonight, Post 320 Stars head coach. A huge win for his program. They beat Post 22 4-1 earlier. Could you tell the growth here, Coach? You've been with these guys. You lost 16-1 last time you played 22. You lost games earlier this year. Have you seen growth in the last month? What have you seen?
Yeah, and it's really on that mental side of things, Nate. They believe in themselves. The beginning of the summer, we had, we played some good games. We won some good games, but we weren't sure really who we were. We really didn't have, a true identity at that point. And I don't want to overstate one game because it is just one game of baseball. And again, tomorrow, you don't know what's going to happen. But the kids they've bought in, and they work their butts off. So I think at the end of the day, when you have a good that's a pretty good recipe for success. And I think the boys really have bought into that, and they're not afraid of working, not afraid of extra work. And from the beginning of the summer, we're making 3, 4, or 5 errors a game to. I think we've made one error the last 3 or 4 that we've played. It has been a nice jump up for the team, that's for sure.
How do you feel right now, Coach? You're in your first year. You took over this program. Not a lot of people thought, this has been a tough one, man. This is a tough one to get over the top at 22. And it's only one game, I get it. How do you feel right now with this bunch?
I feel good. I really do. It's a group that I'd be willing to run through a wall for, and I think they'd be willing to run through a wall for each other also. And that's just kind of their mentality. There's a lot of energy, a lot of excitement. Understand, it's a game of failures, and they've dealt with a few this summer, and they're going to deal with a few more. Whether it's individual stuff or team stuff, but they aren't afraid of the moment. They're willing to stick their nose in there and. As a coach, that's about all you can ask for. A team that isn't scared to go out there and, play a little baseball. And I'm proud of them. I'm proud of watching the progression they've had this summer. And, a lot of these guys started taking ground balls in December here in the off season. Last year wasn't very successful for them, and they wanted to do something about it, and they wanted to change, and they have. And kudos to them. It's a good group of boys.
You sound like you're not happy with just one when you want to try and go on a run. It's a tough field, so preview the game tomorrow. You probably haven't had much time to think, but you just watched them. Renner has won state titles now, Coach. So you got Renner tomorrow afternoon. What do you tell your team after this emotional win?
Right. Everybody's heard of the trap game, right? And that's what we got to avoid. We were on quite a high today, and really motivated to play well today. And we as a team, we just came here and we watched Renner play, and they look good out there. They are a really good baseball team. I think they won state last year. They've got a couple really good arms, and I'm sure we'll see one of them tomorrow. But, at the end of the day, we've got some good arms too, and we're going to go out there and see if we can't put together a few hits and play clean defense, and we'll see what that scoreboard says after 7.
Huge win for the program. Really unbelievable to see. First-year head coach Mike Jansen takes over 320. They beat Post 22 for the first time since 2009. The last time they beat them was at a state tournament, and they did it today, 4-1. Congrats, Coach. Really good win. Good luck to you tomorrow. I appreciate you hopping on.
Hey, thanks, Nate. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it. Mike Jansen, head coach, Post 320. Riding a high, man. That's a big one for a program that's really struggled against 22, as many teams have. Many teams have. But what a win for the Stars. Mike Jansen, first-year head coach. I know Mike, really good baseball guy. Really good baseball guy. I thought that was a nice hire. Was over there at South Dakota State in his college days. So knows baseball, steps into the head coaching job. It's tough. Sometimes you don't, who are we going to get? How are we going to put this together? Well, they've grown. They have improved. Post 320 beats Post 22 4-1 today. Who's hot and who's not? Wrapping up the show next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Our locally owned Ace stores are committed to helping our neighbors and our communities. And because we're in the neighborhood, we can deliver almost anything you need. So shop in store or online for whatever your home or yard needs. Choose from top brands like Milwaukee, Steel, Traeger, and Benjamin Moore. Then pick up in-store, curbside, or we'll deliver your order right to your home. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know how to help. See acehardware.com for details.
I was the cool dad. My kids wanted me to take them to the mall. I didn't think anything about doing it in front of them, even though I knew it was illegal. Then my oldest started driving. Like father, like son. Gotta read that text right now. But he took a life, and now his is shattered too.
Addiction has many faces. Texting and driving when you know it's life-threatening and illegal can be one of them. Take back control. Put the phone down.
Brought to you by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the South Dakota Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Building your Black Hills dream? Builder's First Source in Rapid City, Spearfish, and Hot Springs has you covered. Top quality materials, product expertise, all your building needs in one place for materials and services. Just stop in or start at BLDR.com. That's BLDR.com. Builder's First Source. Build it.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Storms likely tonight, otherwise overcast. Lows around 60, northeasterly winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly cloudy skies expected tomorrow. Chance of thunderstorms, daytime highs approaching 74. Cloudy skies tomorrow night, chance of thunderstorms, lows dip down to about 59. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently 76.
This isn't just the sound of a legendary Brunswick pool table. It's the sound of families about to make memories together. And while this may sound like the hum of a spa, listen closely, and you'll hear backyard fun for years to come. So while Splash City's guarantee of quality sure sounds good, we know quality time sounds even better.
Who wants another burger? Splash City, 1024 West Omaha, across from Connects in Rapid City.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Jansen at Physio. We want to be your trusted partner for physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab. As the official strength and conditioning partners for Stevens, Central, Douglas, and the Rapid City Rush, our team at Physio is building the best athletes in the Black Hills. If you have an athlete in the family, we offer long-term athlete development at affordable prices for middle and high school students. We also have the only board-certified sports PT in Rapid City. At our brand new facility, Physio is ready to help you perform at your best. One-on-one physical therapy, athlete development, and sports rehab, all at one place. Get started at bhphysio.com.
Host your next big event at the Box Elder Events Center, now featuring all new lighting, enhanced sound, and cutting-edge AV. Your destination for conventions, conferences, weddings, tournaments, concerts, and private parties of all kinds. Plus, their gourmet catering isn't just for on-site events, they'll deliver straight to you. Don't miss the Pickle Boo Pickleball Tournament October 24th to 26th, and Fall Hoop Fest November 7th to 9th. Learn more and book today at thebox.live.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, good stuff tonight. Thanks for being here. Tuesday edition of the program. It's South Dakota Sports Talk Show live, Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're part of the program each afternoon. This is it for me this week. That's it for me. Legion baseball coverage. So I'll be back next week. Okay, we're ready to go in August. All right? Who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet tonight. Locally owned and operated Pizza Ranch. Who's hot category? I got to go to the Post 320. Not a bigger win out there. First win over Post 22 for the Rapid City Post 320 team in 16 years. That's just unbelievable. Post 320 with the win at state today, 4-1. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, Twins fans, cover your ears. Byron Buxton. Great season. All-star. This is it. This is his season. He's hurt. 10-day injured list. Rib cage. Byron Buxton injured again. Thanks for listening to the Nate Brown Show. Great show tonight. The podcast going up right now. See ya.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good